students who do have a computer compared to students who don't have a computer is a game changer.
This is about turning around schools, fundamentally, changing test scores, changing outcomes, and this is about turning around the larger community.
What we've seen in our young people at this school is a lot of success, and a lot of that success has been because of the great teachers at the school, because of the strong leadership, but also because of our relationship with School2Home. It's a place where we've been able to offer our students incredible access to technology. We've been able to integrate that technology into the lesson plans that our teachers are providing to young people. We've been able to really get parents engaged in a different way and leveraging technology to help that engagement. And School2Home really isn't just a program at this school, it's a part of the school.
Okay, let's pause though. Where did they go? My name is Javier Peña. I'm a 7th grade world history teacher at San Fernando Institute for Applied Media.
From Inca, Peru. Right here it says age. Oh, right here. Oh.
My classroom today was studying the age of exploration. Instead of giving the students the major concept, I exposed them to a series of artifacts where they themselves explore and try to derive the concept from the artifacts. They were exploring these artifacts of a sunken ship. They were trying to identify today where the ship might have set sail from, where it was going, and what motivated the expedition. They could do some basic Google searches to confirm or test their hypotheses about what they were looking at, giving them that technology tool to help them explore what their mind is thinking up at the moment.
Is it this one?
They're excited because they're getting the confirmation of their hypothesis immediately. And so it's definitely a lot better than just reading a textbook where answers are given. Here they explore for themselves.
I like to read a lot, so I downloaded this reading site where different teenagers, they write stories, and it's really interesting.
If there's a word that I don't understand, I usually just go on Google and I look for it. And I've always wanted to learn how to speak Japanese, so sometimes I just go on Google Translate and learn how to say different words in different languages.
We are moving forward, and technology is definitely a must. So, I mean, it's not an option anymore, it's a must.
If you're a middle school student and you don't have classrooms where you have strong software that's combined with quality teaching, then you're not learning as fast as your peers. And if that's not happening, you're not going to be prepared for high school and you're not going to be as prepared as you need to be for college.
There are communities where there's a high access to computers, and then communities such as ours that maybe the percentage is less.
In the last few years, it's really been embraced by our community, but at the same time, it's also been embraced by our teachers who have to utilize the devices in their classroom.
These students come from families and backgrounds that don't have the ability to provide the devices. And here's these students, and they're able to compete now because we provide them here at our school. And I think that gives them confidence, and it empowers them, and it makes them feel that they have the tools just like everybody else. So it kind of levels out the playing field, and it closes the achievement gap. They call it the digital divide of haves and have-nots. That has been an extraordinary effect of having a partnership with School2Home for us.
Start thinking more about scholarships, start thinking more about going to college. I think it gives them an opportunity to do that.
This year we have no suspensions. Office referrals, they're down, depending on the month, between 50 and 90% from last year.
He actually does something very unusual with his computer. He has dyslexia. And so because he has the computer in the classroom, he's able to access curriculum in a way that he never was before. For instance, all of his books, because we have digital copies now, he can have them all read out loud at any point. And so his tests are all read out loud to him, which is not only, it's not a stigma anymore because he doesn't have to carry around a separate device that other people don't have. He's got the same device as any other kid in his classroom. So it's made life much, much easier. And he's, 3 A+, 2 A's, and a B with a reading disability in all the regular A classes is pretty impressive. And I don't think he would have done this otherwise.
I try to tell them there's a big, vast world outside of Oakland, outside of this area. Even through this little box, they can take you outside of Oakland to Egypt, to take you to Mesopotamia, to take you to Alaska. Just remember, inside this computer, there is a big, vast world that you can actually log onto and see.
All of the studies show that the biggest component to student growth and student success is parent involvement. The fact that that's a huge part of School2Home is amazing, and then seeing the parents here with their child and learning together it's almost like, why haven't we done this before? This is like the perfect equation.
They can go into the website of the teachers and know what homework has been assigned, what projects are coming up, and what grades are being given.
They're looking at the transcripts, they're looking at if they're absent, if they're tardy for class.
And they can check, did she do this? She said she didn't have homework that night. Let me check. She did have homework. She didn't turn it in, then they'll know.
The devices served as a great opportunity to overcome the language issues.
Their concern was, well, I don't know how to speak English. I said, great, just type it up, go through Google Docs to do a translation. That was something we incorporated into the workshops.
Actualmente todo es computadoras, todo es internet, todo es a base de datos, entonces tienen que estar súper dotadas para hacer las cosas. Entonces, qué mejor que les enseñen. Entonces, porque yo sé que muchas escuelas no tienen ese sistema. Yo varias amigas me dicen, desde mi hijo no tiene eso. Entonces, sí le ha ayudado bastante y le va a seguir ayudando y va a ser de provecho para su universidad también.
In the 2 years the school has been operating, the API score, so the Academic Performance Index, the state score, has gone up. Most of that growth occurred this past school year when School2Home was operational.
I will preach technology in the classroom until the day I die because of this story. We were studying Islam and ancient Arabia in my world history class, and I happen to have had the privilege of traveling all over the world, and one of those places I've been is Turkey. I made several Islamic friends in Turkey, and so I got a hold of one of those via email and scheduled a time for her to Skype into my class. And so my students all emailed me questions that they wanted to ask her, and there she is. It's midnight in Turkey, it's 9 a.m. here. All students have their questions open, their netbooks ready, and I drew names from a hat, and they got to ask her questions visibly, eye to eye, ask her questions about Islam. She answered them, the students took notes on it. It was seriously incredible. Like, it was the best picture of my students' worldview just exploding and becoming global students ever, and their questions, I was thinking they're going to ask questions like, do you drive cars in Turkey? But their questions were so in-depth and so well thought out. I just stood back in the back of the classroom like a proud teacher going, this is an incredible moment that I will never forget. To just cross oceans and cross cultural barriers and cross language barriers and see my students get it for the first time, I think.